Hello everybody, Bryan Habana, HSBC Global Rugby Ambassador, with someone who is in Dubai for the very first time, fellow Red Polo Gang member, Michael Hooper. First stop on the series, there's new faces, new things to do. There's even new paddle courts at the Seven Stadium out in the desert. But best of three. Oh! He wins it!
Very good, mate. You just went easy on me there. That was very good.
Well done.
Good fun.
I'd love to go get this guy for about 10 minutes just to chat through the Sevens opportunity that he had, Dubai for the first time ever, and maybe pick his brain around what the next chapter of his life looks like. Well done, Hoops. Your first ever paddle game. It's been a few months now, official retirement of Michael Hooper from the international game of rugby. Obviously, I think the conversion, from a rugby player, it's very early into this next chapter of your lives. How have you sort of found that?
I've loved it. Like I had a great time playing international rugby, being involved in many different games around the world, captaining my country, which is a huge highlight for my family and myself.
If Hong Kong was your sort of first one, you were sort of involved in various elements around. I saw you in Perth and you've been training with the squad. The big takeaways in the comparison between 15s and 7s, I mean, the immediate things that you found out in Hong Kong, what would that have been like for you?
Well, when I saw you in Perth, the immediate thing I found out was an Achilles tear. So I put a tear in my Achilles pretty quick, trying to get used to. It's the exposure to high speed. You've just got to run as fast as you can and repeat that effort and repeat that effort. And then, you fast forward to Hong Kong. I get my Achilles right, get onto the field there. I played a lot of games, a lot of big games, but that was one of the most nervous lead into a tournament and games I've been a part of. And why? It's a completely different game. Pass, you tackle, it's rugby as you know it. Yes, less numbers on the field, but the skill set is different. You become much more of a generalist, and it's packed there and it's pumping. And playing Fiji, who are just, traditionally one of the great teams and can score from anywhere, I figured that a fair bit could go wrong for my debut with 2 minutes left on the clock. Luckily it didn't. We ended up getting a win there, so it was a great exposure to Sevens rugby, and in a place like Hong Kong, it was amazing.
I was pitch side, and I think what was really cool, you made that turnover against Fiji with them on the attack, and I think to see the embrace from your teammates, must have really put you in a lot of comfort of now really being a part of it, almost like having proved yourself on the field.
Yeah, look, that was the highlight, and it went downhill from there. We beat Fiji and it got a turnover, which is what they wanted me to do on the field. And then, I didn't see too many more after that, or too many more tournaments after that. But just to do that, and my family again in the crowd, I didn't know if I'd play for Australia again. To play against Fiji, this is stuff that's just absolute gold. So, particularly towards the back end of the career, it was a lot of fun. So, unfortunately, there wasn't many more of those.
Fast forward, I'm actually very disappointed looking at the setup, looking at what we've just done on the paddle court. You didn't bring recovery to Dubai. Obviously, it's something that you're now involved in the next phase of your life. I mean, it would actually work pretty well for the both of us, right?
Yeah.
To have a recovery setup. I mean, quickly chat about this reconversion into the next phase, recovery, the things that you're currently doing?
Yeah, well, after paddle, my legs are blown up, so it'd be nice to jump into some ice or a little bit of a sauna, or just even some recovery pumps would be good. Something that, I've done for my whole career. So your exposure to sauna, ice baths, recovery is just something that, is second nature to an athlete, and particularly in the rugby world, you travel a lot, so you've got to get over all these things. So in conjunction with Stephen Hoyles, another former Wallaby and Waratah, he started a recovery business back in 2019, and we've got a couple of studios open, and what that is just focusing on high performance and wellness across a whole range of demographics.
I think as rugby players, we become very structured in our approach. You actually get spoon-fed quite a bit. Your program for the week gets given to you, your clothing that you wear gets given to you. Where does Michael Hooper see himself in sort of 3 to 5 years' time in this transition period?
I'd love to. I don't want to have a complete reinvention, but I would like to become good at something else. What that is, whether that's in business, whether that's being more of the doing, the actual teaching side of it, not being a teacher, but working with high-performing teams, high-performing individuals, businesses. I really enjoy that. I was lucky to have exposure to try and be the best footy player or the best team you can be, and learned a hell of a lot. So, I'd love to try and, give some of that back, and also keep learning through that process from people who've done it, but do it in a different realm than taking the pitch, throwing a footy around, tackling enormous humans, So I'm really excited about that. Like you say, I've been really lucky to have some great people around me and really utilise that rugby network in sort of this early stage of my transition. But I'm really keen to know. I mean, you're someone now 6.5 years retired, like you say.
I can feel older.
Does it go quick? Does it go quick? First question. But what were some of the important things that you did and are doing, and any advice you'd give to myself or other people around that?
So I think the first thing, and I think we're extremely fortunate as professional athletes that we get sort of taught certain skills that are able to allow you to transition. I think the biggest thing that I've learned, given how stuck we were in, or set we were in our ways, one of the biggest things I had to learn was to unlearn to learn. And now going to the business environment where, as a rugby player, I was removing emotion from decision-making processes. But hoops, I think it's brilliant to sort of see the amount of positivity that you're bringing into this very early stage of the next phase of your life. I think it's great to have you as a part of the Red Polo gang. And if there is anything that people from around the world watching this can take, is that restarting is never a bad thing, but your ability to sort of change your mindset to appropriately do that. So looking forward to the next chapter for you, mate.
Oh, thank you, Bryan.